Today, I'm going to show you how to make a black dragon studded breastplate. Alright, all the skills you need for this, for leather working, is in the description down below. Thumbnails looking like this. Pacha, 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 pacha. And while you're down there, subscribe, and you feel that I did a worthy job, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And ring that battle bell for notifications. That out of the way. Now let's talk about the leather options that you have for the armor. Alright. At a crafting store, you may have a few options. There's a rolled up leather. This cost me like $40, somewhere around $30 to $60 to get a shoulder worth or less of leather. This is uniform thickness, or a good to go, and you could dye it as you see fit, compared to a remnant bag where it's random sizes, random color, random thickness, compared to this. Alright, so this cost me like about $12, not including tax. And let's open these bad boys up. Alright, right here we have a very long piece of leather, but not too wide. About 10.5 inches. For what I'm going to be doing, that's kind of perfect. So, to trace the pattern on and cut it out. Alright, that was the long piece of leather in the back. Right in the mesh bag. Alright, now here's the remnant bag. I really lucked out. I got this because they had white leather. And you could probably luck out to get like some nice cheap straps. They're folded in a good size. A lot of times you get like smaller chunks. Not as long. Something like this and this to a degree. Now make some concept art for your armor. Wow, that was fast! Plastic wrap your torso so you can have a reference to your pattern that you're going to make. Plastic wrap yourself thoroughly, and also pro tip, have someone help you out in this step. If you're like stupid like I am and doing it solo, kind of looks like this. And after you're satisfied with that, add some duct tape to it to make it look like armor to a degree, so you have a reference to your armor. Alright, now you look how much tape I managed to get on myself. Make sure you bend down, move your arms around to simulate, you moving around like armor. And now cutting yourself out. If you're doing it alone, it's a little difficult, but make sure you have some distance from you and your clothing. And try to cut it out. Look at me trying to cut it out. Alright, fast forward time! It's kind of hard to find the butter zone when you're cutting down like that. Hopefully you used cheap tape in this process. Tape up all this front and back and make sure you cut the sides so it looks like a breastplate, so you can have this as a reference thing for your pattern. After you cut the sides out to separate the front and back, add a little more tape to the sides to allow your breastplate to have some overlap. Trust me, you're going to need that. Make some test scales and lay it on your duct tape breastplate so you have a battle plan of how you are going to make this breastplate. Get some cardstock or a poster board to add that little nice rigidity for the pattern. The top scale determines where the holes go for the bottom scale, so to ensure custom fit, this principle also applies to the belly scale being considered as the top scale. If you look in the pattern that I have what it looks like when this scale is on top, and also what it will look like when it's fitting on the bottom. So each pattern you have to make a custom piece and cut it out like so. It's very important that the holes line up so you won't run into troubles when you transfer this to the leather. After making all the pieces of the pattern, time for the test fit. Tape the patterns together so the holes align so you can see through them. Or you can use the hammer-on rivets through the holes without permanently setting them. Tape it all together. This is what it kind of looks like. Then, try it on. Look at a mirror. Bend. Move. Everything you do in armor, make sure it kind of fits. Pattern apart. Then trace it onto the leather. Then set it aside to help keep things organized. Do this for all the pieces of that pattern. And take your time and keep your tools sharp and wet the leather so it'll be easier to cut and shape, but not too much. Too much, it will be hard to edge cut and burnish. To make that scale look, make a cut no more than half. Then take some kind of wedge tool and edge cut. Be very careful when you are making the holes for the rivets. If you have it misaligned, you have to do some adjustments. So this is a very important step. And also, dyeing the leather, make sure you wet it, then add as much coats as necessary. That'll be it for that video. After you rivet it all together, any questions, leave in the comments. And any more updates or things I forgot, I'm gonna make into a future video.
Traveling